I'm AJ Mealing. I just moved to Atlanta last year. The thing that stood out the most about following God to me is just His presence. He's always there. At times where I liked Him, and I didn't like Him too. I couldn't deny His presence. Man, I grew up and I didn't really go to church much until I was about 12. My mom started taking us to church, and around that time she was also diagnosed with colon cancer. It's a lot. It is a lot. Life definitely changed for that year. We were all praying that she'd be healed, and I certainly, as a kid, didn't think twice about it because being a single mom, working multiple jobs, she was Superwoman. When it finally got serious that last month or so, I really became numb to a lot of things. Just in that questioning phase, in that angry phase, just really numb to people around me because, they wanted good, but I didn't really know how to grieve it and how to go through that process. And I was young, man. I was young, so it was really tough. So my sophomore year, actually, I broke my back playing baseball. Yeah, it was an old injury. I re-aggravated, and I was out. It was a 17-month process, and recovering for that was a really deep and dark time because I knew all the Christianese. I knew God was real. I knew He was using that injury for my good, but it didn't feel good. I couldn't sit, I couldn't lay, I couldn't stand in the same place for more than like 30 seconds. It was really rough time. I found myself really having to be honest with God and really having to let Him know and lament and just express my frustration with the circumstances, with Him. And what I learned through that was He had wanted that honesty the whole time. And He had really wanted that depth and emotion from me. And during that time, my buddy on the basketball team, I would come in for the day and I wouldn't want to climb the stairs. So I would just go into his room and I'd just sit on his futon. And I'd stay there all night. I'd just sit on his futon and we'd talk about whatever came up. And he was really honest about his walk. And he was one of the first people I saw that lived what he preached, and that meant the most to me. The best way to put it was they knew a Jesus I didn't know. Right? They knew a more relational, a more conversational Jesus than a performance-driven, transactional Jesus, and that really changed the way I looked at things. So now I'm able to apply my story to go help and pour into the college athletes and coaches at Georgia Tech the way that my buddy and the campus ministers did to me back in undergrad. And in that process, I just began learning more and more of his character and how he had interwoven all the things in my life for his glory and for my good at the end of it.